I've been threatening to set up a Commonplace book for quite some time now, and I think it's about time I got on and did it. Welcome to the channel. Today I am going to be putting together my initial pages of my Commonplace book. So for those of you who are wondering what a Commonplace book is and how it differs to a journal is where you place your own words. A Commonplace book is where you record other people's words. So it's a place to put quotes, poetry, song lyrics. It's what bullet journalists would probably call a collection. When I used to bullet journal, I kept quite a few of these collections. Here's one that I prepared much earlier, and this is a 2018 one. It's quotes from Polo 8 by Jeffrey Kluger, and I've written quotes from that book, and then I've gone on to Persepolis Rising by James S.A. Corey. And I have a number of places like this scattered all throughout my bullet journals over the years. But of course, once I put this journal on the shelf, those disappear. Unless I happen to pick up this journal and go through it, I won't see that I've written all those quotes down and that I find them amusing or interesting or important in some way. So a Commonplace book would put all of those items into one single book, put aside explicitly for that purpose. I was going to use this Lectern 1917 for my 2025 bullet journal and moved into a Happy Planner instead. So I decided this would be the perfect notebook to use as a Commonplace book. I think I bought this in about 2022, so a little bit after COVID, and I was trying to cheer myself up. So I got it in Rising Sun. It is an A5 and it's dot grid. So what I'm going to do today is work out some kind of a key and determine a color code and a color palette for it. So I had a look through my past journals to get an idea of what I use it for. So I mostly use it for things like song lyrics, book quotes, movie quotes, notes, so notes from non-fiction books, for example, that I want to remember, and one other thing that I can't for the life of me remember right now, and lists. I might also have one for miscellaneous. So I have to know, do I want these all to be just one category, or do I want them all to be different? And I'm going to say that I want them to be a little bit different. So I need to figure out a color palette. I'm going to be using my Tombow dual tip markers, and I have a reasonably good selection of them. Now I would like the colors to be distinct from one another, but go together and not be too garish. So I'm going to take out the really obvious garish colors first, and the dark ones that I'm not going to be able to see through. So I think this is what we're left with. So I just need to choose some colors here. I know that teal and blue look very much the same under lighting, so I have to pick one or the other. I can't have both, and I'm going to lean towards the blue. So what I need to do now is just swatch them all out. I have a little bit of waste paper that I had from doing some trimming before, so let's just test out and see what we have. So I've picked out my palette. They don't really match one another, but they are different enough to each other that I can tell the difference between them easily. And the top three, which are the most closely related, are similar shades. So I'm just going to allocate them now. So I'm aware that this isn't the paper I'm going to be using it on, so I'm going to put them in here now. So turn to the back. You always do your pen test. I will most likely be using this Acro Ball Pilot Fine black pen. So for various reasons, I don't want to set up a key in the front of the book right now. So what I'm going to do is just swatch it all out on this piece of spare paper. This is just from an Archer and Olive notebook. And what I always do is I write the numbers next to them, because otherwise you end up pouring through 50 Tombow markers and they all look the bloomin' same. especially when you're doing something at night. It's really difficult. So there's my key ready to go when I'm ready to put it in properly. And my next step is to figure out what type of layout I want. Do I want to have pictures? Do I want it decorative? Do I want to have washi tape? And I think I want it to be minimal. Black pen only. I would like it to look prettier, like I think it would be nice to put in a couple of pictures, but it adds a level of complexity and of course a whole lot of time that I don't necessarily have. This is meant to be something that I enjoy doing and that I spend time doing, but it's not meant to take up a lot of time. When it comes to my reading journal, I print out all my book covers, I decorate with washi tape, I cut all my book covers out and glue them in and write a little bit, and that's fine. And that's perfect for that, but that is not something that I'm looking to do in this Commonplace book. So the intention of my Commonplace book is to write down those quotes and lists and notes, and that's it. It's not there to be a massive creative outlet. I'm writing down somebody else's words and thoughts, so it's not like it's coming from me. Although I think it would look nice to have some minimal decoration, my preference right now is to keep it simple, to just have the page, the writing, and that's it. The next question is, what layout do I want to use? Now there is just the plain layout. Let's just draw a few pictures here. I'm a terrible drawer. Let's say this is the page. In fact, let's do a bit of a spread here. And let's say you do your heading, you'll have a highlight, and then your content. And that's what I've done in previous years. And then maybe you do another heading here, and then content. Or turn to a fresh page and do the heading there. I'm not sure which I prefer. I think I'll decide as I go. One other one I have seen for Commonplace books is a margin. You do your content here, and your title and any extra information goes down here, and any notes or anything that you might want to add. Same thing over here. Or the third one is to do what I do at the moment in my personal journal, and I just split it in half and then just write that way. Or of course you can do combinations, and what I've decided is that I think I will use pretty much whichever one I think suits the content the best. Some of it will work better. If I'm doing a list, then having two equal sides of the page will probably work well. If I'm doing some notes from a book that I actually want to write my own notes, then perhaps a margin will work well. But if I'm just doing straight up quotes, then maybe I don't need any margin at all. So I ended up doing a wee key anyway. So here it is. I've chickened out of doing the miscellaneous. First of all, I couldn't remember how to spell it off the top of my head, and I didn't really like that peach colour I was using, so I've left that blank for now. I'll find a colour when I'm ready to go. And now I need to actually just start filling out my first entry, and I could sit here and mull over it for quite some time and then never get anywhere. I think I just need to bite the bullet and get started. So that's it. I did end up writing out the quotes to the Apollo 13 movie. I've got my key all set out and I'm quite happy with that. And it's pretty much ready to go. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week.